Welcome back, everybody. Ostentatious here with the first part of my new Permadeath run. Unfortunate set of events in the last live stream. Some random idiot basically shot me while I was on a weekend mission. Shot me from his ship while I was taking off of a planet and killed me. So we got 30 plus hours into that run, and unfortunately I hadn't backed up any of the saves, so we've lost everything. We was just about to basically get to Eissentam. We did 10 galaxy jumps, S-classed basically everything, and was just kind of in more or less going into exploration mode and base building mode. But yeah, unfortunately, you live and learn. This round I won't be turning multiplayer on, and I'll be making sure to back up a save, because I do want to still do 255 galaxies in one run on Permadeath. Just something to say that I've been there, done it, sort of thing. So yeah, I'm starting a new fresh run now, and I'm hoping to basically just plough through this as quickly as possible so we can get back to Eissentam, back to where we were, and hopefully build on from there. So yeah, here we go. I'm going to jump into Permadeath now. This time as well, there wasn't any commentary in the first couple of episodes, but I'll do a little bit of commentary while I'm going through, because I doubt there'll be many viewers of the next several streams, because they've kind of seen it and done it all, haven't they? So I can probably focus a bit more and just try to show you what to do. So the first things first, we need to find a cave and just build up our oxygen and sodium inventory with basically just farming hazardous flora in the caves. So the first thing we do is look for a cave.
Multi-tool and mining laser attachment operational. User initialization sequence complete.
Doesn't look very cavey, does it? Some sodium here though. So that was a bit of a result. Yeah, so just trying to get through this obviously as quickly as we can. At the same time, I'm going to do a bit more of kind of what to do and what not to do as we go through it, which was missed in the first couple of episodes. So yeah, finding a cave, definitely the most important thing when you're first starting out. Even if you get some sodium, as I just did there, it's still good to find a cave, because then we can build up more of it and also get some oxygen as well. Now a little tip you can do, it is a little bit cheaty, but you can go into camera mode and sort of look up like this, and this way you can get a rough idea. Looks like the ship's that way. I think that's a couple of buildings over there. Yeah, so you can look for a cave this way. There's the ship there, look. So, in fact, we'll just head straight there. Nice and simple. That was a good start. Hi Daniel, welcome to the stream. Yeah, new run this, because unfortunately some horrid person decided to kill me in the last stream, which ended that Permadeath run. So in this one I'm essentially just starting from scratch, going to try and get to Eissentam as quickly as I can, with some instructions on what to do on the way through. I've had a good start here because the ship was pretty much next to where I started. Sorry, Dariel, not Daniel. Dariel skipped to Milo. See what these have to offer. So what you should be looking at is definitely the cave. Then once you've built up some sodium and oxygen, start trying to build up your ferrite dust and carbon levels, because you need that to build, produce pure ferrite, metal plating and various other things right at the start that you need. Now a little tip for new players, when using the multi-tool, let me just find a cave first so that I can show you what to look for in the cave. So I'm gathering this is to make dihydrogen jelly, and it's also used to make some starship fuel as well. But it's found everywhere, dihydrogen crystals, so you've never really got to worry about that. Find a cave, but I don't think I need one. It's just oxygen looks a little bit shy. Right, so with the multi-tool, let me just quickly get this up so it's at full capacity.
Radiation protection.
I do need some oxygen. That's just 50 ferrite.
Suit power cells depleted.
Right, yeah, this is a problem. I have to go back to the starship where there's oxygen there.
Life support offline. Radiation protection falling.
This is why you need a cave, because there's plenty of oxygen in caves. There should be some next to the starter ship here.
Offline.
There we go.
Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge. Radiation levels critical. Technology recharge.
Right, let's see if we can get in a cave.
Radiation protection falling.
That looks cavey over there. just really finding this cave, A, to get oxygen, and B, to show you what to look for, because this is a bit of a different scenario. Normally there'd be plenty of caves around. It's not very often this happens where you don't find one.
Radiation protection falling.
It's nearly a cave. No, not quite. Oh, this is actually ridiculous.
Suit power cells depleted. Technology recharge.
There's no oxygen around.
Radiation protection falling.
You can collect the smaller crystals with this, but you can't collect the big ones. You need the advanced mining bee. Right, here we go. Finally. Yeah, it's a decent one as well. So when you get into a cave, eventually, what you'll probably find, and I just know my luck now with this, there won't be any, but you should find a lot of hazardous flora. There's generally like an abundance of it everywhere. So if we just have a look, keep looking around. Sometimes it's on the floor, sometimes it's on the ceiling. Most of the time it's on the ceiling. But yeah, this is just my luck here. I'm not getting anything. Right, there's bits of it up here. So this stuff here is the stuff that you want. So as you can see, they give either oxygen or sodium. So this is a really good and effective way, right at the start, when you've got kind of no shields or anything, to begin farming stuff that you need to basically stay alive. I'm just collecting these things because this is just not very much money, but it's some starting units that will just help to get some oxygen, life support capsules, as well as ion batteries. Because once we've got that, we don't really need to worry about sodium and oxygen, only for farming. Yeah, this is a much better cave. The other one wasn't really a cave, it was just a hole. Right, I can't get through there. I haven't really managed to pick up much oxygen there either. Normally you'd get quite a significant amount of both sodium and oxygen in these sort of caves. There was an entrance just back there to the left, which I'll look at in a second. I'm just going to see what's up there. Some more there. But yeah, these hazardous flora plants in caves are normally sort of clumped together in clusters. So you can normally farm quite a few of these as you go sort of exploring around. So there's another entrance here, let's have a look. See, right, there's quite a few here. So, see, now the tip is, I'll get this fully charged. So, on the top right of the screen there, you can see the multi-tool mining bar. It goes from yellow to sort of flashing yellow, and then as you're getting close to it maxing out, it gets to red. But what you do is you keep it, just tap the trigger on and off to keep it as high, as close to the top as you possibly can. And by doing that, I'll demonstrate some more in a minute, but by doing that, look at the numbers that are coming off of the hazardous flora. See how they're going up, 70, 80, 86 and so on. Now the longer you can keep it on red without it depleting or without burning it out so it drops all the way back down. So see how I'm consistently keeping it in the red now, flashing, just by tapping on and off the trigger button. That's how you mine. And by doing that, especially once you've got some S-class upgrade modules, if you keep that the red bar on the right hand side up there constantly at the very, very maximum, you'll get much more return on whatever you're mining. You'll get much more yield. So I'll show you what I mean. It's starting off, see the numbers, 40, and as the bar's going up, the numbers are now in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and now we're at the maximum, 100. So without any upgrades, the maximum I'll get is 100. But what I want to do is just feather the trigger so that it constantly stays at 100 without burning out. I need to refill now. So again, I'll just show you here with this ferrite. So I'm just feathering at the trigger and trying to keep it as close to the top as I can. Finger off, finger on the trigger, but without burning the multi-tool. And I'm constantly getting 100 of whatever I'm mining. Now when you've got S-class modules, and when your tool is fully upgraded, those numbers there, 100, you'll be getting over 200, sometimes even higher than that, depending what you're doing. And see how I'm still in the red, and that it's just never burning out because I'm just feathering the trigger, and I'm constantly keeping it in the red zone, the top right there, which will always net you much more materials. So that is how you correctly and properly use a multi-tool when you're mining. And you basically just do that until it runs out of gas. Again, 40s, as the bar's going up, 42, 50, makes a big jump, 70. As we're getting towards 100, we'll start feathering. That way I can get as much as possible. Yeah, there's normally loads of hazardous flora around. I mean, we saw a little bit there, but even that isn't a huge amount. No problem at all. And that works with everything. So doesn't matter what you're mining. That is the most efficient and the most effective way to use and maximise your multi-tool. Even this crappy multi-tool, the starting multi-tool, if you use it as I just showed, you'll still get a fair decent amount of mined resources. See, I've picked up sort of nearly close to 400 ferrite dust there with just breaking a few rocks. And when you've got a multi-tool fully upgraded, the yield that you get is really, really high if you do that. So that's why you get numbers there, and it's all linked to the bar on the top right of the screen. But I think that will have to do. I think we've didn't really get much from this cave, but it was just really to show you kind of what you do when you're in a cave. So all the way through this, I'm just going to give as much useful information and tips as I go along, step by step, and you'll hopefully see a few things and think, Jesus, like 25 hours I've been playing this game and I didn't know that. So hopefully these few little tips and stuff will help you out, even if you're sort of well into the game. I've been up here, so something there. Best demonstration I've ever seen. Hopefully be a few more of things like that.
Life support power low.
Right, we'll grab these things here if we haven't already grabbed them. No, we've taken them already. Excuse me. I think it might be time to jump out of this cave. Which is annoying because I still need
Technology recharge.
a decent amount of oxygen.
Radiation protection falling.
Right, so again I'll show you here with some carbon and stuff, but see the numbers? 49 in the 60s now, 80s.
Technology
It's back up
recharge.
again. As the numbers rise, along with the bar on the right, it's going from yellow to now flashing yellow, and now it's going to go red. So while we're in the red zone, again, just feather the trigger, and you'll constantly get 100. And if you gas on and gas off, you won't hit the maximum before the multi-tool burns out and goes back down to 0. So you want to just keep it in the red zone as long as you can by taking your finger on and off the trigger, just peppering it until you get depletion, and that way you get the maximum on anything whatsoever that you
Radiation
mine.
protection falling.
Right, so now we can build this. No, we can't. We need another 8.
Technology recharge.
So you can pick these smaller crystals up, but you can't get the big ones until you get the advanced mining tool. At the start, I just sort of do a little bit of chilled gameplay and just collect as much as I can really of stuff that I know I'm going to need.
Technology recharge.
And then sort of worry about other things once you've got all your ferrite and everything collected.
Radiation protection falling.
An archive, yeah, there it is. There's an archive building there. So we'll. There's not much I'm going to be able to do with that at this point in the game because I've got no money. the other thing is by doing this and peppering the trigger, keeping it in the red zone, look how quickly you plough through the smaller materials. They pretty much disintegrate as soon as you touch them, sort of thing. But even these sort of medium size, it just doesn't take any time whatsoever. But even the big one, look at that bar going down while it's at 100. So I've collected plenty of stuff there, so let's get cracking on.
Radiation protection falling.
So this is just easy units, but it's actually mainly for nanites that I've scanned stuff. So when you go into the anomaly, you can get rewarded for scanning stuff with nanites, which is very useful early on. Scanning for units doesn't really become relevant until you get some decent upgrades on your scanner. But it's good to know this is a uranium, so I'm sorted for starship fuel once I get the terrain manipulator all built and everything. I'll just go to a mining deposit and yeah, there is. I did see that archive when you first flagged it up to me, Daryl. Thanks for that. Not much I can do with an archive just yet, though. It'd be good if I was doing a challenge like Beebs and stuff. But yeah, there's not much until I get some money and stuff. There isn't much use for that for me at the moment.
Protection falling. Life support power low. Units received.
What I can do with that archive building though is sell some of the stuff that I've found.
Radiation protection falling. Product constructed. Component repaired. Component repaired.
So when you hit that map there, the planetary chart, that essentially begins the countdown for a storm on whatever planet you're on. So before you get that planetary chart, you can walk anywhere you like, there'll be no storm. but now it's all part of the game's introduction to everything for you. Like an introductory way of showing you how to do things. But now I'm going to get to a certain point from my ship after hitting that chart, and a storm will come, and it happens on every planet at the same point every time. So as soon as you start walking within a certain distance away from your ship after triggering that chart, the storm will begin to happen, as you'll see in a minute. But thankfully we've picked up quite a fair amount of sodium there, so we'll be fine. There we go, so there's the storm. Normally around halfway between your ship and this waypoint just ahead there. Now these blue plants here, they give you a jetpack boost, and they're very, very useful at the start of the game, but just be very, very careful. Make sure you listen to the noise when they're running out, like now, because at the start of the game your jetpack will deplete very, very quickly, and if you're quite high in the air, that can be a killer. But it's just a nice, easy way, quick way of getting around if you stumble across them quite quickly. It gives you basically a sort of 10-second-ish boost on your jetpack, and at the start anything like that will help. So I've got hermetic seal. May just wait for this storm to scan some things while I'm waiting. But even this stuff here, I mean, it doesn't really give you much in terms of like units, like scanning rocks. They're just sort of 200 a time. But where it becomes much more relevant, scanning everything, is when you go into the anomaly and you speak to the person on the far right. Sometimes they ask to hand in information on planets, sometimes it will be minerals, sometimes fauna, flora, whatever it might be. You can get a lot of nanites. He's given me over 10,000 nanites for scanning different things in every planet in the system that I've been in. So it's well worth scanning as much as you can. If you're having a nice, casual, relaxed playthrough, it's just worth scanning everything that you see, because the nanites are more important than the units that you get from everything. Now I shouldn't run into any other storms now. Now that first one's been and gone, there shouldn't be any others. There's a nice mecha wing racer there, look. They're circling around that archive building, aren't they? That's what they're doing. It's kind of over there, isn't it? Yeah, there it is there. Trading post. So we'll mark that, because we'll fly there in a moment, and sell some of the stuff that we've got. So what it might be worth doing is actually just, as we're close by, is whacking some of this stuff here in my tech so we can free up some space.
Radiation protection falling.
Yeah, and then just doing a little bit of mining, perhaps, of some cobalt while we're here.
Radiation protection stabilizing.
Again, keep it in the red. Always in the red. Just let the gas off a little bit if it starts getting a bit too much. We want the hundreds.
Units received. Technology recharge.
I'm really just doing this to get some money together for purchasing some ion batteries and some life support gel. So basically the most important thing is once you've got the start out of the way, you found your cave, you've mined these things here, and you've got plenty of oxygen and sodium. What you want to do next is find a trading post, a minor settlement, or anywhere that has a galactic terminal, a place that you can buy and sell stuff. And the second most important thing to do, especially in Permadeath, is to get yourself enough money, only about 70,000, maybe even less than that, which I've easily got now. And what you want to do is just buy some ion batteries and some life support capsules. Once you buy a stack of ion batteries, they're about maybe 30,000 for a stack. Life support is about 20,000 for a stack. Could be a bit more, could be a bit less. Once you've got both of those stacks, you are sorted for life support and for hazardous protection for hours. You will not use all of that stack. It will take you at least 10, maybe 15 hours of gameplay to get through all of that stack of ion batteries and life support capsules. Some people like to just keep loads of carbon on them and sodium, and that's fine if you're in normal mode because you can store 10,000 in each slot in your inventory, but in Permadeath you can't do that. So basically what I'm saying is you'll use up far much more inventory space if you store oxygen and sodium to keep you alive. If you want to use much less inventory space, use a much more efficient way of keeping you alive, get ion batteries and get life support capsules as quickly as you can. And that is the second most important thing to do as soon as you start out in Permadeath. Once you've got that, you're pretty much set. You won't have even, you could sit out in the biggest storm going and several consecutive storms and you just won't die, because you'll have over 100 in one slot in your inventory of each of those things. Right, so now it's going to give me my refiner, which I need oxygen for. Great. Metal plating. Right, that is really annoying. No oxygen. I thought I had enough. Right, what I'm going to need to do is head to that trading post. It's a bit far, but got no choice really, because this planet is a bit scarce in terms of oxygen. There's not much of it around. Loads of sodium and stuff, but yeah, not much oxygen. But I'll be able to buy quite a bit from this trading post here. I should have just gone there really from where I was. That's my mistake. That.
Radiation protection falling.
Another building there.
Suit power cells depleted. Technology recharge.
Right. I could be in trouble here.
Radiation damage detected. Radiation protection falling.
In desperate need of some hazardous flora here.
Life support
dear.
offline. Units received. Life support critical. Life
Yeah,
support
I'm in trouble.
critical. Radiation protection falling. Life support
Good job I had some of that on me. Meat can do that as well. Give you a bit of a short-term boost.
falling. Life support power low.
Right, now we'll be as safe as we like here.
Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge.
So I'm just going to sell all the stuff that I've collected basically here. So Albion Pearl. Yeah, we'll get rid of this. We won't need that. Won't need cobalt, marrow, or ionised cobalt. And then we'll buy all 46 of these. Look how much these cost. 11,000. That will last me hours. Hours and hours and hours. 40. 9,000. Again, that will last me hours. And you can get, I think, in your normal inventory 100 of each. And look, it just takes 2 slots. This here would be the equivalent of probably taking up all of this space here with oxygen and sodium, when you can just buy these things here. So that is the second priority in Permadeath, is getting yourself near to one of these trade terminals anywhere and just buying some of that. I'm not going to worry about this because it costs a lot of money and it's much cheaper to just buy, make it, because there's loads of dihydrogen lying around. But this planet is a radioactive planet, so it has lots of uranium deposits. So instead of making fuel, I'm just going to basically get the ship up and running, and then I'm going to go and mine some of these uranium deposits, and that way I've not got to ever worry about fuel on the ship. So we've never now got to worry about hazard protection or life support, because we've got plenty of stuff now. The only thing that will kill me now is either glitching, or a tornado, potentially, this early on in the game. But there's none on this planet, so we'll be fine with that. Because where you haven't got any jetpack, if you go to a planet, just say you're the second planet you land on, and it just so happens to have tornadoes, good luck with that. You will definitely die. Because it will just throw you to the ground, and you've got no chance. You won't die if you basically just hide, but then the game just becomes really boring if you're just doing that all the time.
Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge. Radiation protection falling.
So I'm going to be playing quite casually, fairly relaxed on the way through this, but at the same time I do want to try and just get to the stasis device farm and building that as quickly as I can. Right. So, oh my god, I didn't get any bloody oxygen, did I? What a fool. The main thing I went there for really was oxygen, and it was the only thing I didn't bloody buy. I'm just going to get some from a cave. There's some here, that's good.
Suit power cells depleted. Radiation protection falling.
Just watched the Tour de France. Yeah, I was watching the golf earlier. I'm much more into golf. I had it on in the background when I was doing a live stream earlier today. EAU.
Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge. Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge.
You see my ship while it does this.
Radiation protection falling.
It's also good. I don't use the rocket launcher. If you dismantle that rocket launcher module, you get some copper here, and then you can turn that straight into chromatic metal.
Component repaired.
So we'll build get rid of some of that.
Technology recharge.
Make that now. See if there's anything else worth scanning.
Falling. Units received.
Hi Joe, just tuning in. So in episode 13, an unlucky number for some, but apparently it's definitely unlucky for me.
Radiation protection falling.
In the last stream I did earlier today, I had just got to Eissentam and was just about to sort of focus on some nice chilled out stuff, exploration and this, that and the other, and
Radiation
basically I started the weekend mission in the Anomaly and I didn't turn multiplayer off, so it's a schoolboy error on my part. I went to the system which it's spawned me to search for ancient bones, and as I landed on the planet, someone started shooting me. So I quickly got in my ship, flew up and shot him back, and then he flew out to space. I chased him, and he basically disappeared. So I thought he'd left the system, and then when I came back, I landed on the planet again, got out, assuming he had left the system and gone, and he kind of appeared out of nowhere and started shooting me again from his ship. So I got back in my ship, but he had already locked onto the ship with his positron, and he killed me while I was in my ship. Arsehole, basically. I mean, I should have turned multiplayer off, so that is my fault. I should know better than that, and it is definitely going to be off once I get going on this. In fact, I'll turn it off in a minute. But yeah, so I sort of built up a good base of everything, you know, like decent multi-tool, decent ship, decent freighter and stuff, and some arsehole just kind of took that all away after over 30 hours of gameplay. So I was a bit surprised, a bit frustrated, but you know what, I still need and want to do this 255 galaxy jump on Permadeath. So I thought what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is start from fresh, add some sort of useful commentary and tips in these streams along the way. Maybe not do as long as streams in each one, and basically just try and get the galaxy jump into Eissentam done as quickly as possible. I'm not going to focus too much on really trying to build an AI farm. I might do, but if I do, it'll be a very small scale one. And I'm going to mainly focus on trying to get the stasis device farm back up and running, because that I will do a lot of and need. So yeah, it was a bit of a bummer, that. Very, very annoying. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I mean. Especially on a weekend mission as well. You know, before they were quite good. Like, they were quite good community events. Like, everyone built bases and sort of helped one another out. And then this guy comes along and he's one of the jerks out there in the community. You know, I wouldn't shoot someone. Right, I'm just going to try and find a couple of uranium deposits. That potentially is one there. It could be copper though. Looks a bit more like copper. Let's have a look. No, that is copper. It's got a green tint to it. Yeah, the pilots have on the trade posts. That's handy. There's quite a few quid there. Yeah, the pilots on trade posts have materials, but not a lot of them. Much more on the space station you'll get. They have things like artifacts and stuff. Not artifacts. What are they called? Stuff that you need for the portals. This actually looks like quite a good planet for like buildings and stuff. They seem to be everywhere, like literally everywhere. Seems everywhere I turn there's something of interest. I'm not really even sticking to the ley lines as well. That's the other thing as well. Some of you may or may not know this, but every planet has these plants. So this is a radioactive planet, so it has gamma weed, which are these yellow plants. Frozen planets will have frost crystal. Hot planets will have selenium, and so on and so on. Now, there's invisible lines that basically run in between this set of plants here, and there'll be another set of plants on the right. So you've basically just got to find one set of plants and then another set of plants which is near it. So here they are. So there's a set there. Again, this is purely for beginners, really. So there's a set there on the left, and there's a set up here on the right, or more or less on the right. It's almost dead straight. Now, if I continue on this line here, there's another set there on the right, and up here, I bet there'll be another set on the left somewhere. And there is over here. Yeah? So right now, I am on a ley line. And on ley lines, what you'll find is buildings. I'll show you in a minute what I mean by that. So that's a building there. Right, so the plants are on the left, there's the building, and there's plants on the right there. Now if I continue along here, there'll be another building. Look, see, there's one there. Now this will take me to a minor settlement. These tall posts here, these waypoints, these will always, 100% of the time, they will always take you to a minor settlement. They only scan minor settlements. See?
Radiation protection 4. Technology recharge. Product constructed. Product constructed. Product constructed. Technology recharge.
So we're right. So yeah. So again, gamma root on the left there. Gamma root on the right. So this is where I want to fly in between the left and the right of that, and you'll always find a building. So again, there's more gamma root on the right there. So there should be some up on the left somewhere, if I'm on the right line, that is. So right, there was the building. This way. Anyway, there it is. So there's the gamma root on the left. If you see, there's a building there. Might not be anything worthwhile or of interest, but I'm on a ley line now. So there'll be more gamma root coming up somewhere. Right, there's some there. There's some there on the right. But basically what I'm trying to say is there's invisible lines, and if you fly in between the left and the right gamma route, which I'm doing now, you will encounter a building. So there's some more here. If I stay in between these two, and there's the building. Completely random, you won't ever know which one it is, but yeah, that's ley lines. See, I'm still in that left and right. So as long as you stay on this line, this path, again, left, there'll be some on the right, yeah, look, some on the right there. So this is the invisible line in between each of these plants. And there's a building. Yeah, and there's the gamma route again. There'll be some on the left now somewhere. There's another building. There's the gamma route on the right. But anyway, you get my drift. Another building. It's a minor settlement. We'll go there. So once you see two plants left and right, just fly in between them. If you keep seeing them, that means you're on the ley line. And they proceed. The game seeds and procedurally generates buildings on that line. And the good thing about minor settlements is they give free navigation data. So you get one every save point that you click on. It will give you one free nav data. Which for people like me that multi-tool hunt, navigation data is the most important thing for ship and tool hunters. But I'll get into that in another video. Again, there's another building there. So yeah, if you just basically stay on more or less like I'm going towards this minor settlement, then there's another building down there. You'll just keep encountering buildings. Right, while I'm going to this settlement, I'll quickly just catch up with the chat. Will the pilots have Oxy 2? Harvest the uranium with the ship guns? Yeah, you can. I think you can harvest uranium with ship guns. Probably quite a long-winded way of doing it, but it's not to say that you can't. That's a bummer. I saw that happen to another YouTuber, but he wasn't doing Permadeath. I never really figured this to be a PvP type game, so I find it a little surprising to hear that. Shame. Yeah, basically there's just arseholes in every game. Even chilled out communities like this, you're always going to find a group of them, and it's the same people that on Facebook forums like the No Man's Sky community, it's the people on there that are calling for PvP. You know, always asking, you know, what people's thoughts of PvP, what we should do with PvP is this, what we need to do is that, and it's just like, no, go away, you know. I think the update has been postponed because Hello Games is trying to sort out the griefing in the Anomaly, just a guess, but the wait has been excruciating. Yeah, lots of speculation out there on when it's going to drop, what it's going to be and stuff. I'm just taking it all with a very, very small pinch of salt at the moment. Right, let's sell some of this. Don't need that. Don't need platinum. Don't need uranium or that. million units, that's not bad. See if he's got any uranium for sale. No, I'll top up these again.
Product received.
I'll top up that.
Product received.
I'll get the nanites, and then always on the desk, 1 or 2 of these, because you get either nanites or navigation data. And I'll take both of those. Then I'll get my free navigation data here, which I've already got, I think, yep. And then we'll see what's in. I've already got that as well.
Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge.
There has been. I'm a relatively new player, about 80 hours. What's the update going to contain, do you think, guys? That's kind of a can of worms question, that, because there's so much different speculation out there. My honest answer is I have absolutely no idea. I have no idea what the update is going to contain. What I do think it may contain is something to do with the space thing on the space station. I forget what it's called. That big console at the back of the space station.
Radiation protection.
I'll be very, very surprised if the next update doesn't sort of introduce that as something that's as something you can interact with, and something that affects the game in some sort of way. But outside of that, I'm not going to bother with uranium here. I'm just going to see if I can get some from these people in the space station. But beyond that, I have literally no idea. I've got no idea whatsoever what the crack is with the update. But I love them. I think the expeditions is a really good idea. There's been so much speculation, Joe, nobody really knows, but most are hoping for an expedition with drops from Twitch to go along with it, like the first expedition. Yeah, Twitch drops were brilliant. I like the idea of expeditions because it does give you a different way of unlocking the Quicksilver items. You know, the good thing about it is you're not unlocking anything that's new. You're unlocking, on the most part, you're unlocking stuff that was already available in the game, but it was just a grind to get it. Like doing Quicksilver missions is not a quick and easy task. It takes quite a while to build up several thousand Quicksilver just to buy certain parts. Like some of the suit parts in there are like 3,000 Quicksilver. Takes forever, right? So being able to unlock that via expeditions is a really good idea, because not only do you unlock it, it remains permanently unlocked and across all your saves. So you haven't then got to start a new save and grind out Quicksilver again. So I think that side of it, just purely that side of it alone, is enough to say, you know, you've got thumbs up from me on that. Hello Games, I thought it was a really good idea. Lots of people were moaning about it, saying it was taking ages and this, that and the other, but I don't know, I mean, see how long it takes you to unlock the shoulder pads without doing the expeditions. I'll tell you what, it can take you a lot longer, especially when it was just 250 a day.
Toxic protection falling. Technology recharge.
These are worth getting because they give you nanites most of the time, but you can get some S-class upgrade modules from them. Taking me on a mission here, this thing. Actually.
Toxic protection falling.
That'll be that thing there, isn't it?
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
I missed the first two, excited about the third. The rewards carry over to all saves because I'm nowhere near done with my first one. They do carry over on all saves, but once an expedition completes and finishes, if you haven't finished it, you unfortunately can't then get anything that was redeemable on that particular expedition without using the save editor and without basically having a friend or someone that had duped whatever it was or kept copies of whatever it was, like the golden vector. So you could be a little bit screwed on that if you miss one. I've got just over 1,000 hours and I'm still learning and exploring. Just gone to my 4th galaxy. That's good. Yes, rewards have been redeemable on all saves. Yep, they are.
Protection falling. Received.
Again, I'm not scanning for units here. I'm purely scanning to get nanites. Once I upload this data to the anomaly. The thing about expeditions is that they are limited to a certain time frame. First was 6 to 8 weeks, and the second was 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, but to be honest with you, it's more than enough time, I think. They have plenty of marketing. There's plenty of hype. A lot of chat on social media groups about it. There's plenty of videos out there put together by people like Zane, Survival Bob and other people on speed running them. So if time is an issue, there's lots of guides out there generally within literally the first few days that will tell you how to do it as quickly as possible. So I think that the time thing is kind of a bit of a non-issue, but yeah, that's just my view on it. Maybe it's because I have a bit more time than other people out there. stuff, but I thought that you could hit it. Maybe not. No, can't. That does make sense though. I mean, you can't shoot it, you won't be able to whack it. So I need some of that, but I've got to make a terrain manipulator first.
Toxic protection. Falling. Product constructed. Technology installed. Product constructed. Toxic protection. Falling. Technology recharge. Toxic protection. Falling.
So now I've got the terrain manipulator built. I'm not going to actively look for these yet, but as and when you see the technology modules there, the salvage data, definitely pick them up because you need quite a significant amount of those to be able to unlock building parts and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely keep your eye out for some of them. Any ones that are close by are definitely worth just going to. Such as this one. And generally speaking, again, for new players, you probably know this, but
Toxic protection.
whenever you see
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
whenever you see one of these in the wild, and you can see them really clearly from your spaceship when you're flying around, especially at night because they glow up blue. There's always at least 1 to 2 salvage modules
Falling.
within the vicinity of one of these. So if you see these, you'll always find at least 1, but up to 3 salvage modules within normally around a 10 to 20 U radius. Most of the time they're kind of right next to them, sort of here. But yeah, you'll always find salvage data next to one of these. It's always the case. And like if you see on your like for instance, let's go to one that's fairly close. So we'll go to this one here. Careful of the cave. But if you're looking for those damaged machineries, if you see on your analysis visor buried technology modules, obviously the opposite happens. You'll see
Toxic protection. Falling.
damaged machinery right next to it. So I'm just going to show you, just purely, again, for new players here. So here is the buried technology module, and right near it, I can almost guarantee somewhere around here will be damaged machinery. If there isn't, that's quite odd.
Toxic protection falling.
So within 10-20 years, I bet there's one round here somewhere. Now that is odd. Not unless it's underground. It's the only thing that I can think of is it's perhaps underground.
Units received. Toxic protection falling. Units received. Toxic damage detected. Technology recharge.
But again, yeah, so damaged machinery. And salvage data module.
Toxic protection falling. Units received. Units received.
Right, I'll catch up with chat in a second. Just
Toxic protection
some of this first.
falling.
Oh, this is quite cool. So there's a salvaged subterranean organic structure, a buried cache, and a salvage data as well. All in one little area. And the thing is these always give the same for everybody. So if you came to this location, if you came to this exact coordinates, plus 2373, and so on, on this planet in this system, this stuff here will be here for everyone, and it will always give the same module over and over again. So if I left this planet, spent a day doing something, came back to this location and went to here, I would get another one of these suspicious mining modules.
Falling.
So that would always appear here. They never change, they're always locked.
Toxic damage detected. Technology recharge. Toxic protection
be a bit behind here. I was on vacation, so I missed the second issue. That's a bummer. If you're on holiday, that is a bummer. I want ship customization or even building. That's being cool to own space station and be able to build and customize your own ship. Yeah, I'm on the fence about ship customization myself. I think personally that will kill ship hunting. Definitely annoy a few people as well. Each expedition needs a new save to start. Yeah, we just need more saves in general. Much more than just the 6 that we can have. It's ridiculous. I wish they would change that. Yeah, me too. Oh, neat. That's awesome. So maybe save my Quicksilver until the next expedition rewards are revealed. Yeah, it's worth it. I'd like more game save slots. Yeah, definitely. Expedition rewards can only be earned by accomplishing the tasks of each step of the expedition. Yeah, correct. You won't need to buy them. True Grit, welcome to the chat. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, wherever you are. Wherever you are, wherever you are. I was looking at Joe Schmo there. You guys have been busy. It's cool about the buried modules close by though. Still need maybe another 100 or so. Yeah. Using exocraft. Yeah, I very rarely use exocrafts. I think I find them more of a hindrance than anything else. I'll tell you what, exocrafts were good, but they were good when you didn't have the requirement to keep their hazard protection up. That's a relatively new thing. I'm not sure when they introduced that. But you never used to have to keep your eye on hazard protection in any exocraft. So why they decided all of a sudden it was a good idea to introduce that is anyone's guess. I have no idea. But I find that a bit of a drag. Right, so I'm at the point now where it's asking me to build a base, so I am going to do that, but I want to build it on a planet in this system that's worth building on. So let's just see what we've got in the system. On your Discoveries tab, if you go right over to the left on this tab, it will show you the planets. So there's 6 here, and I've only discovered 3. Here it will say the system life form. Here it will say the conflict level, which is a little kind of irrelevant really. And here it will say the economy type, whether it's rich, poor, or medium. This is a medium adequate economy in a Korvac system. You can upload all of your finds by clicking on this. You can upload them individually, or you can upload all of them like that. Oh, that's random. Someone else has discovered this system 5 years ago. Look at that. So I've landed in a system that has already been discovered by somebody 5 years ago, and I'm assuming he probably made this his home planet. To be fair, that's probably what I'm going to do because it's got ancient bones. Star Bowl. exocraft upkeep is a real pain in the arse. The mecha suit just doesn't go fast enough, and
Threat detected.
I can't stand the way it turns and stuff. I'm going to go to this one actually, because salvageable scrap, I think, is better than collecting that. Gives you more money than collecting bones, and it takes up less inventory, and you get ferrite dust along the way as well. So I prefer salvageable scrap as opposed to collecting ancient bones. So I'm going to make this planet here just purely for early game money making, my home planet, and I'm going to build a base here.
Warning. Threat detected.
Yeah, I have absolutely no use or need for exocrafts in this game at all. If they were faster, I would definitely use them, like 100%. But they can't make them faster, because if they make them faster, then people that are playing on older generation consoles, if they travel too fast, they'll clip through the floor. So we're never ever, unfortunately, I think, going to have exocrafts that can move faster than you, or a starship. Just purely because the planet surface around you won't generate fast enough to make it solid for the exocraft on certain platforms, even on older PCs. So yeah, I don't think that exocrafts have much use in this game. There'll be a lot of people out there that would argue against that and say, no, I love them. And it's each to their own, this game. But not for me. So another quick tip, as I mentioned, that's a biggie. So minor settlements, they always give a free navigation data, as do all of these save points. So every minor settlement has one save point. The other thing that they have, generally, 9 times out of 10, they don't all have them, but most do. They have these 2 units here. Now, one of these units will have nanites here. Some will have another nav data here, or nanites. So I've just got a nav data. So there's 2 of this settlement. Some will have more, so there's here. So that's 3 nav data. And they will all have a buried salvageable technology module. Although this is genuinely the first time I've ever seen 2 of these buildings without damaged machinery next to them. So that's a first. 4,000 hours, and I've never seen that before. So I'm just going to see if this has any uranium. No, but it does have some of that, so I'll take that. Hi True Grits, welcome to the chat.
Base computer online.
I think I've said hello to True Grit already. Dario, I've said hello. Joe Schmo. I'm pretty much up to date on that.
Toxic protection falling.
Just lurking and taking notes. Take notes away. Fire away. Right, so search the base computer. So your most important note so far is number 1, find a cave. Then in that cave, mine hazardous flora for the sodium and the oxygen. And once you've built up a decent amount of each of those in your inventory, next priority is to find any trade post, any trade terminal in any building or out in the wild, and buy yourself some ion batteries, as well as life support capsules. That's kind of priority number 1 and number 2, and shouldn't ever change. Once you've got those 2, basically it's however you want to play, wherever you want to go, and what you want to do. Exploration after that becomes a lot easier. Like with my 66 and 72 of each of these, there could be the strongest storm imaginable here now. As long as it isn't, what do you call it, tornadoes, it doesn't matter, I'm invincible.
Technology recharge. Toxic protection falling.
So these are salvageable scrap.
Toxic protection
Now,
falling.
I'll show you the difference in these. This one's going to be potentially a medium return of units. Now, if you find one of these and it has 3 of these poles, you'll get over 1 million units. Sometimes they have just the main section there. So every one of these has one main section here, and then either 1, 2 or 3 of these poles. These poles here indicate what they're worth, essentially. If this was just one pole, you'd get probably about 60 or 70,000 units. 2 poles could be a couple of hundred, and 3 would be over 1 million, up to 2.5 million. And basically what you do is you break down this one, then this one, and then the final unit, each of which gives you ferrite. And then once you've broken down the final unit, you may get some sentinels appear that try and shoot you, but they're easily killable.
Technology recharge.
In saying that, I haven't got a gun yet. So let me just
Falling.
make one,
Technology installed.
and then make some ammo. Ammo is just 50 ferrite dust,
Constructed.
gives you 1,000. We'll do another one of them, 2,500. So yeah, I'll break this down. See there it appeared? Break that down. Break the last part down, which is a little bit here. So that's a rare item, as I said. Legendary items are yellow, rare are sort of purpley pink, and normal are blue. If you've got 2 of those poles, you'll always get a rare. If you've got 3, you'll always get a legendary. So again, just another little tip there when you're looking for those modules. But as you'll see, a rare So even that is 830,000 units just for that. It could take you 8 or 9 ancient ruins that you dig up to get that, because a lot of them, in fact most of them that you'll find, are about 60 or 70,000. So I much prefer salvageable scrap, and also I prefer storm crystals, because they're everywhere and you can make a lot of money very quickly with storm crystal planets. So I'm just going to go back. There's another one there. They look similar to these, but they're yellow. So the salvage containers are yellow, and the buried technology modules are white. Yeah, the sentinels, when you assume, they don't always appear. Not every single one of them will trigger those aggressive sentinels. Most of the time it will, but not all the time. And yeah, they do appear instantly as soon as you break the first pole or arm. They'll be coming after you. But they're not really any different to normal sentinels. They just look a bit meaner, but they're not really. Right, so for people that have just joined the stream, I'm just going to quickly show once again, as I did at the very start, that I think Daryl found quite useful, how to actually use your multi-tool properly, efficiently and correctly. And not everybody knows this, particularly new players. So when you mine, look at the top right of my screen now. Can you see that bar that's increasing? Yeah? It will start going yellow, and then it will start flashing yellow, and then it will get to red, where we are right now. Now, what you want to do is tap on and tap off the trigger. So feather the trigger on and off, and keep it in the red as long as you can. So you want to keep it at the maximum when you're mining, as long as you can, right? And try not to let it overheat. Now, the reason why you do that is because look at the numbers on my screen now. They start at 42, and as the bar starts moving up, 42 is the amount that you're getting, the amount that you're mining now. As it goes up, it's now going to edge towards 100, 102. Now what you want to do is, as it's on the red, just keep it there. Keep on and off, not constant, just on and off, keeping it on the red. So you're constantly getting 100 or more of whatever you're mining in terms of yield. So right now I am absolutely getting the maximum possible carbon available from any of the things that I'm touching. And see how quickly it's going down. Even these medium-sized plants, how quickly tapping on and off that is going down. And you just literally, that is how you mine. On and off, on and off, over 100. Now when you've got a decent multi-tool, particularly an experimental multi-tool, they're the best at mining. And I use experimental tools more than anything because I mine more than I kill in this game. So for me, experimental tools are the most important tools for me because you get much more yield using an experimental than you will an alien or a standard tool. Now when you get an experimental and you upgrade that with S-class modules, that 100 number there, or that 102 number there that you're seeing, that will be 2, maybe even 300 plus. So the amount of material that you're getting will be more than treble that. So the more you upgrade a tool, the more yield that you get. And you'll see that even with my shit tool, in a couple of minutes there, I've just mined nearly 1,000 carbon without much effort. Now with an S-class tool, that would have been several thousand. But if you just do this and mine like this, see how slow that's going down, and see how little yield that you're getting. Yeah? So that is how you use a multi-tool. Not just like willy-nilly. If you control it and you control the top right bar and you keep it constantly. So when I generally start mining, I even just hit the ground first. Don't touch anything, and then when you want to get to where you want to, something you want to mine, get it into the red, like now, and then go up, and straight away you're getting the max carbon. Yeah. So that's how you use the multi-tool. It's pretty simple, but believe me, so many people don't know that that's actually how you're supposed to use the multi-tool. And it would be stupid for me not to know that, considering I hunt multi-tools. So I know a little bit about multi-tools. Right, so where was we? Construct a shelter. We've got more than enough carbon for that now. So we'll just do a tiny little shelter, because a storm's going to come now. As soon as you place your first part, that is the trigger for a storm.
Weather warning.
There we go.
Incoming storm.
In comes the storm.
Base computer online.
Very predictable, this game. Right, so we've done that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people kind of, they have this real thing in their head about, you know, getting the biggest alien gun with the most amount of damage and stuff, but I hardly kill anything in it. Like, the only thing that I'll kill in this game is sentinels, but even a C-class gun with a scatter blaster will take a sentinel out in 2 shots. Damage is very much irrelevant in this game, but mining isn't. The mining stats are definitely relevant. They definitely help, which is why for me experimental tools are by far the most important tool out there. I do like the look of the alien tools, but the experimental tool is a much more all-rounded tool.
Units received. Units received. Units received.
Right, so what are we doing now? Advanced materials required, pure ferrite. What's that for? Habitation program. Yeah, so I need pure ferrite for that.
Technology recharge.
You what? Magnetized ferrite. Daryl, you've put yes, pistols are better for mining.
Storm clearing.
I'm not quite sure that's true. Rifles are definitely better for mining and damage. Basically, so just very briefly on this is a pistol, yeah? You can get alien pistols as well, and you can get experimental pistols, right? Now, if you had an experimental pistol, that would give more yield than this standard system pistol here, as would an alien pistol. An alien and an experimental pistol will definitely give more yield in mining and damage than this standard pistol here, but an experimental rifle will give more, I would say at least a third to half, 50% more yield than a standard system pistol, and it will also give more than an experimental pistol. An alien rifle might not give more than an experimental rifle or an experimental pistol, because an experimental pistol and rifle are the most efficient tools for mining. So in some instances, an experimental pistol might give more than an alien rifle, yeah, but to be completely frank, it all depends on what upgrade modules you've got. You could have the best S-class experimental rifle in the world, but if you haven't got the right upgrade modules, it's pointless. So you need to have both. You need to have both a good pistol or rifle, and you need to have decent mining modules as well. The two go together. If you had loads of good mining modules here, but you had a really poor rifle or a C-class rifle here, it would be pointless really having all this, because you might as well just get an S-class with average upgrades and it would still offer better yields than a maxed out upgrade here C-class rifle. So what you've got to do is move away from pistols or rifles and focus more on system, alien and experimental. Alien equals damage, experimental equals mining and damage, but not always as much damage as an alien, and standard system tools like this won't give either damage or mining returns to what you'll see with an alien or an experimental. So it doesn't matter, even if this was a decent pistol, this is a standard system pistol, and standard guns don't offer the bonus stats that alien or experimental do. Sorry about that, that's quite a long-winded way of explaining something that's a little bit irrelevant on my stream at the moment, but it just gives particularly new players a bit more of an understanding about tools and how they work and stuff. Not the best way of explaining it, to be fair there. S-class guns as well will always have added bonuses, so they'll always start a bit higher. Yeah, basically, as long as you've got an experimental rifle, you're set for mining and you're set for scanning. Some, and actually quite a few experimental tools will get to 10,000 damage, but you do need to have the correct scatter blaster modules maxed out to get that, whereas alien tools, most of them with the correct S-class scatter blaster modules will get over 10,000 damage. Alien tools will give more damage, but the difference between the damage on an alien tool and an experimental tool is hardly anything. But the difference between damage on a system multi-tool and an alien multi-tool could be quite a lot. System multi-tools are basically crap. You want to get an alien or an experimental as soon as you can. But it's all very much of a muchness. They all pretty much do the same thing. You're talking about differences that you won't really notice, if I'm honest. Not really worth worrying about. So for me, pretty much since I got a very basic understanding of how this game works, I don't even look at stats on multi-tools. They don't interest me. They don't have any relevance to me whatsoever. The only thing that I care about on any multi-tool, even system multi-tools, is its looks. It's all about the aesthetics for me, as opposed to stats. I care very little for stats on guns. For mining deposits, there isn't really any tips on that, but you kind of, in terms of the beam size, the smaller the beam, like you said, the more yield that you'll get, the more return you'll get. And again, you're right, it does take a little bit longer. You can't actually see that though while you're mining, which is annoying. Yeah, for those that don't know, you can change the size of your beam when you mine deposits. So you can have a big beam like that, you can have a medium beam like that, or you can have a tiny beam like that. On a controller, it's your RB and LBs that control the size. Now if you mine with this beam, you'll mine it very, very quickly, but you won't get as much in your inventory. You won't get like as much resources mined. So if you clear the whole deposit using this beam here, you do it very, very quickly, because it obviously clears a much bigger space. But compared to clearing it with this, which takes a bit longer, this will give you a lot more resources. But it takes a long time to mine a deposit with this. So for me, most of the time, this is more than enough. I just stick with the standard medium size mining circle, that one there, as opposed to that one or this one. Yeah, scroll through the vids. I've got plenty of experimental tools. Also look on, I've also got a huge backlog as well, by the way. I've got probably about 200 that still need to be put up from ages and ages ago. Because I've only really been doing YouTube videos for the last 5-6 months, if that. And I've been playing the game since the start of 2017. So I've got so many, and there's also a lot of finds I've got that I've lost. I've got pictures of, but I've lost the galaxy names or locations of over the years, which is annoying. I've probably found over 500 or around 500 different S-class tools since I've been playing, quite a lot. So as long as it's an experimental, got it. Yeah. I just recently put some modules on my pistol, so I'm going to wait a bit before I get one of your rifles. Yeah, there's no rush, and like I said, it doesn't really, like, if I'm being brutally honest, it doesn't really make much of a difference. Stick with a tool that you like the look of and that works for you is what I'll say on that. Don't focus too much on stats, because the difference between all of them, quite frankly, is very minimal. But if you're a purist, and, you know, you're like a collector, I suppose, that likes to have everything uniform and everything the best of the best and stuff, then yeah, if you want the best mining, you go for experimental tools. Right, what's it telling me to do now? Teleport 4 metal.
Toxic protection falling.
Right, so I've got to go and get ferro. In fact, bollocks to that. I'm going to just buy some,
Life support power.
because I'm a lazy bastard. One, two, 2,000, job done. Carbon nanotubes, 2 of them,
Constructed.
and there we go. Now I'll unlock.
Item
Battery.
received.
Save beacon as well.
Item received.
Don't need anything else then. We'll just do. What does that take? Gold, metal plating. Has he got gold for sale? No, he hasn't. Well, refiner it is then. Oh, sorry, biofuel reactor. I am quite lazy in this game, believe it or not. If there's an easy, efficient way to do something, I'm taking my time at the moment, to be honest, in this run. But you'll see in my previous streams, and you'll see in these future streams, if I see something that's like 500 units away, I'll just get my ship and fly there. Very, very lazy. I graph, like when I'm looking for multi-tools and stuff, I mean, yeah, that's the most time-consuming thing, and arguably one of the hardest things that you can do in this game is multi-tool hunting, and I do a lot of that. But if I want to get from A to B, I'll get there quick. I don't mess around normally.
Toxic protection.
Like, I think in the early days of playing this game, I definitely explored to death everywhere. Like, I'm one of these people that gets proper into a game and it like looks at every nook and cranny, and you know, like The Witcher 3, every corner of that map I've searched and been and done, and all of that. But I've been playing this game for many years now, so the exploration side of it, I don't do as much now as what I used to. I just get on with stuff that I want to actually do, because you kind of once you've been playing for a while, and you've clocked up, you know, several thousand hours, you've pretty much seen everything, right? So the most enjoyable part of this game for me, aside from finding good tools, is the first 10 hours of gameplay, the survival element. I find that the best part of the game is the first several hours. So here we have another one with 2. So kill that, kill that, kill that, and do the centre module. And we got another rare. Yeah? Guaranteed. Now that could be anything from, oh look, there's potentially a nanite farm here. Now that could come in handy. It is as well.
Toxic protection.
Runaway mold. Right next to my base, look. Oh no, my base is quite a way away, isn't it? Right. I have 2 multi-tools on my normal save. I use one to travel to other galaxy saves on the repairs. Yeah, that's what I do. I just got to Eissentam last night. Thankfully I was able to call in my freighter and only had to take time to repair everything. That was quite a surprise. Yeah, the other thing you can do as well is just make sure that your ship, the launch thruster and the pulse engine are in your tech. So as soon as you land in a new galaxy, you can just instantly call your ship to you. But just make sure that as I said, the pulse engine and the launch thruster is in your technology, because that won't break. And as long as you do that, you'll instantly be able to call your ship straight to you and get in it and not worry about the environment and storms and all that sort of stuff. So I've just found a runaway moles farm here. So what I'm going to do, again for new players, is I'm going to mark it and I'm going to show you how to extend your base, because not everyone will perhaps know how to do that, that's watching this stream here for the first time, maybe playing it back. So my base is only over here, so it's quite close. Now, it's quite good actually, because I can explain this for the new players. So, when you place a base down, a base computer, what it does is, so let's just say that's my base there. Now what your base computer does is it creates an imaginary and invisible 300U circle from the center of the base. It creates a 300U 360 degree circle around that base console. Now that is the buildable limit that you have. So essentially 300U out that way you can build, 300U out that way you can build, out that way, and so on and so on. So as long as you're within 300U of this base computer in any direction, you can build anything that you like. Yeah. So that is the vanilla limits that you can build within your base. But what you can do is you can actually extend that build limit out 1,000 U. So it's standard at 300 U, but you can build that all the way out to 1,000 U out, and again 1,000 U in any direction. So you're currently restricted to 300 U, but you can actually build out 1,000 U from your base computer. It's actually about 1,020 is the exact number, roughly. And how you do that is, let me get some, yeah, I've got plenty of carbon. So I've just marked that curious deposit there, yeah? So as we can see, that's 548 U away from here. So normally, because that's over 300 U away, I won't be able to build anything over there. But what we can do is start walking out towards this deposit, and make sure while you're doing that, you have the cheapest thing that you can build, which is a wooden wall. It only costs, let me just do this quickly, it only costs 25 carbon, and at the moment, as you can see on the screen there, I can build 28 of these. But the reason why I choose wooden walls to extend the base out is because they're relatively tall and they're wide and they're big, you can see them quite well. So what we do is we start walking towards where we want to build, and as we get to the 300 U limit on our base, the standard build limit, what you'll see is this wall will disappear. So in about another 100 U, you'll see this wall disappear. Any moment now it will go. There we go. So now, I'm now currently out of the build limit. So I, at the moment, as you can see at the bottom of my screen, I don't have any access to any buildable base components, only these portable ones. So what we do is we go back until we see the options change again. So here we go. So now I've got these options back again. So as we get to the 300 limit, it disappears. As we go back, the option reappears. So what we do is we place a base part right on the edge, right here. Now what this does is this base part here, this creates a invisible 50 U radius in a circle. So each base part that you place from here onwards creates another 50 U circle around this base part in every direction. So right here around me, 50 U, I've extended the base perimeter by another 50 U by placing this base part here. Now, if I walk further out, again, I'm now able to build, and I place another one here, roughly 50 U away from this one. And as I move out again, I place another one here. And what I'm doing is I'm creating a line from that 300 U base limit. I'm now extending it in a line, because this is 50 U in all directions, that's 50 U in all directions, and so is that. So at the moment there's a perfect line being extended towards this deposit here. And I'll place another one here. Still got 24 left. and I'll place another one, say here. I'll place another one here, and then the last one should be enough just here, because now that, look, if I stand next to this, that's only 38 U away, 40 U. So this being placed here, because this creates 50 U, that is now within the buildable limit. This was only 540 units away from my base, as you can see there, 552 units. So in actual fact, if I wanted to, I could carry on putting these down and go out another 500 all the way out to probably around out there where that the start of that hill is. That's probably about another 500 U, yeah? So about there. If I wanted to, I could go all the way out down there, but I don't need to. Now, the good thing about knowing that is that wherever you place a base computer down, wherever you put a base computer down, 99.9% of the time, you will always find an electromagnetic hotspot, C, B, A or S class, within 1000 U of your base. I've never ever not found an EM hotspot within that 1000 U limit. So what you'll do is you'll start at your base, go out to the base limit and just walk round the 300 U limit first, look for an EM hotspot. If you don't find one, walk out another 100 and then walk round again, say 400 U around, then again 500, 600 and so on, and you will guarantee be able to find an EM hotspot within that 1000 U. They are everywhere on a planet, absolutely everywhere. You will never not find one. Sometimes you'll find 2 or 3, but that is how you extend the base. Now, just a side note, if I was to now leave this planet and portal out of this planet, or I was to reload a save, this invisible line that I've just built here, these base parts will be here, the base parts will stay there, but your connection, this invisible line that we've just created, that will disappear. So if you reload a save, or you leave the planet and portal elsewhere, to a different system or a different planet, if you use a portal, this invisible line goes. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to go back and rebuild this line again. However, just say this is an electromagnetic hotspot here. Once you've built your EM generators and you've linked them up with wires, and then you've linked these wires all the way back to your base, as long as everything is connected and linked, it doesn't matter whether you leave and portal out or not. Even if this invisible line breaks, because that will now be connected to your base, it will remain connected to your base. So you only need to worry about these invisible lines when you're actually about to build something. And yeah, so that is, again, that's quite a long-winded first permadeath stream, this, but what I'm trying to do is for new players that are looking to even play normal mode, that might be watching this, I'm just trying to give some useful, very simply explained explanations as to how the game and the game mechanics work, so that even if you're not playing permadeath and you just want to play quite casually, you know what to expect and how everything works. So I do appreciate that I might be sort of droning on a bit, and most people probably know what I'm talking about already, but in a year's time there might be a player first logging on that might stumble across this stream and might find this information quite useful. So that's all I'm trying to do, is just break everything down as I go, so that new players can understand and see how it's all kind of fallen into place. So that's all I'm going to do with this for the moment. Is I'm going to what should I place here? I'm just going to leave. Leave a save point here. Just need some metal. No worries, Daryl. I'm just trying to break it down. I'm not the best. I don't do anything from script. I'm just trying to break it down as simply as I possibly can, so that people like yourself, even, you might have kind of clocked up quite a few hours in the game already, and you might know how this works, but you may not know the reasons and the mechanics behind how it works and what you need to do and stuff like that. And obviously with my experience in the game and the community and stuff, I'm just trying to break that down with you. So what we'll do is we'll just put a save beacon down here, a red one, so that we know that this is where the farm is, because this, after a while, these do disappear, these markers. Don't rely on these. If you're going to sort of go off and explore, don't ever rely on these to stay, because they don't always stay. So always put a save beacon down, because they will stay permanently until you delete them. So yes, that is essentially how you extend the base, and then what you do is you just go back and delete all of these parts that you placed, just because obviously it's shit looking, isn't it? Like, it's just the aesthetics. You want to just get rid of all the crap that you don't actually need, because I am going to need to extend this again once I build a proper farm there. But at the moment, I'm not on this stream going to worry about that, because I don't need it right at this second. So I will be extending this again, but as it's only 500 U away, 200 U outside the build limit, I'm not worried about that. If it was 1,000 away, different story. So there we go. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so yeah, if you place if you didn't know about the connections and stuff, yeah. So in short, once you've put some stuff down and it connects all fine and everything, it's great. But if you haven't connected anything to your actual base, like mainly we're talking about mining stuff here and power, that stuff will stay connected as long as it's connected to wherever you want to take it back to, but the invisible lines will disappear. So if like, as an example, if you went back to this base now, sorry, the dogs are going mad at the moment. If I left this planet and portaled out to a different system and came back and thought, oh damn it, I need to build something else now back at that spot, for me now to go and build something extra and something new at that spot we were just at, if I've left the system and come back here, I will need to extend that base limit, that base line once again. So even though I've got buildings already over there right now, essentially all that is at the moment, all that section over there is doing, is that now has its own 50 U radius around it, but there is now nothing connecting that 50 U radius of basically nothing to my base here. So what the game thinks is, right, I've got a little section over there, and I've got a little section over here now, but I've got nothing in between it, so it's not connected. So if I wanted to go back and build refiners there, and build some electricity there, put in some windows, or do whatever, make it a proper base, I would need to re-extend the limit. But that's only if I've left the system and come back in via portal or reloaded a save. Now, if for whatever reason, if you come into a system and a planet and your limit has disappeared, if you reload a save, if you go on and reload a save, that resets the limits, so you can basically start building out again. And sometimes what you'll find is you'll portal into one of your bases. In fact, don't worry about that, because I need to actually show you rather than explain, because it's quite complicated. But I'll save that for when I'm actually building my first farm, so don't worry about what I was just about to say there. But yeah, that's kind of just a very basic overview of building. I'm not going to be demonstrating any in-depth details around glitch building, because although I can glitch build, I'm certainly far from an expert on that in this game. That is for people like Beetlebum, Zane, and all of that. I can build some fantastic bases, and I can glitch build, but I'm still in kind of a learning curve on that myself. Like, I haven't, I'm not an expert in that area. Yeah, glad you all seem to like that explanation. Anyway, that's good. Right, let's crack on. So, investigate the space station. Follow the footsteps. Okay, so that's what we'll do. I'm going to use the portal in a minute, so in fact you'll probably see what I mean about that that base limit disappearing. Yeah, so the next update that we get, I think we'll have a link to that there. I think that this here will definitely be something that they look at. Right, so inventory time. Start getting this built out, shall we? Again, for new players, you guys will probably already know this, but every space station has one of these. This is where you upgrade your inventory space. The first one is 5,000, technology is 1,000, and cargo is 5,000. This will drastically go up once you get kind of 7 or 8 of these here. They will go up to about 1 million, every time you want to upgrade one, they eventually reach 1 million a slot. These I think cap at 300,000, I think. Don't quote me on that. But every one that you buy, the price of each slot increases until it gets to around this part here, and it becomes extortionately high. So what you actually need to do is every space station has one of these. So I tend to build out my technology first. I get this one here because it's cheap. So the first one I get is always cargo because the first one's cheap. But there's actually 2 of these in every system. You get one on the space station, and then before you leave every system that you visit, call in the Anomaly, because there's also one on the Anomaly. The Anomaly one is linked to this to the system. So if you buy this one here, you now can't buy it again. You'll have to basically warp out of the system. At least sort of around 20 times before this will respawn. And it's the same for the Anomaly. If you call the Anomaly in, there'll be one on the Anomaly, but if you call the Anomaly in again in this system, the one on the Anomaly won't be available because you've already bought it in this system. So there's actually 2 exosuit upgrade chances in each system, one here and one on the Anomaly. So every time you enter a system, if you're still building out your inventory on your suit, just make sure that you always remember to get the one on the Anomaly as well, because it will halve the amount of time that it takes you to build out that inventory. But you're getting one more in every system than what you would have done normally. Yeah. Well, that's a result. 2,000 uranium, and we'll definitely take some of that. So that is now ship fuel sorted. Put to bed, haven't got to worry about that now. Always look for uranium. I use that for everything on my ship. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about the one on the Anomaly even now. I see people surprised about that all the time. Right, that's all I need from there. I want to see a traveller because I want to get a glyph so that I can galaxy jump. Hi there, Matilde. Is it Matilde? Matilde Mentasti from Chile. Welcome, welcome, welcome. No, this is a new game. I died in the last stream, and I then restarted a new game in that stream. Some arsehole basically shot me when I was doing the weekend mission, and I died. So I started a new stream in the previous stream today, but I decided to stop that and just do a completely new stream, and I still have the same goal in this stream, which is to do permadeath and to travel through all 255 galaxies in the space of 2 months. So that's the main game, the main goal. And I will do that in this stream because I am going to back up the save from now. But I'm doing the stream, and through this stream, everything that I do, I'm going to try and explain quite simply, mainly for the benefit of new players that are perhaps going to watch back this stream in 6 months' time or a year or whenever. So the first few streams that I didn't have any commentary, but these ones will, and every stream from here onwards. Right, so I've got to use the portal. I've been watching a lot of Beetlebums videos in preparation to make a new and better looking AI farm home-based combo in Eissentam to replace my old one, which is basically just a box, says Joe. Yeah, I don't really bother with fancy bases, but I will do in this stream. I'll build a lovely base. Not yet. I've got to get to Eissentam first. Didn't know about the one on the Anomaly yet. Greetings from Chile. The game he is playing is called No Man's Sky. Indeed. Yeah, I died. I did die. I kept my cool. Inside my head I was thinking, you fuckwit. I want to kill you. I was more annoyed at the fact that I was a little bit kind of bullish by saying that I wouldn't bother backing up the save on this, and if I die, I die. But actually, when the reality hits, and you do die after more than 30 hours in the game, it's a fucker. Absolute fucker. So yeah, I was pissed. But this one will hopefully be better. Although to be fair, the start I had in the previous stream, in episode 1 of the Permadeath, it was unreal. I got a crashed exotic. The first crash ship that I went to was a crashed exotic. Then I found a S-class decent starship on the space station and just exchanged that for free. Then I found an S-class multi-tool cabinet, and basically when I first started searching for an AI S-class AI hotspot, I found one in about 10 minutes. It was just so smooth running. So I'm hoping we get some more of that in this stream. But this stream does seem to be taking a bit longer.
Toxic protection. Stabilizing. Units received.
Right, so I've just portaled back into the planet here. So just very quickly,
Toxic protection.
while it's still relatively fresh in people's minds, I'm just going to test and see if this invisible line here has disappeared. That's interesting because it hasn't disappeared. Perhaps it's when you portal out of the system, as opposed to planet to planet, because it's still here. Yeah. If I so just on the back of that, if I had left this system and came back in, this invisible line would be gone. So it's still here, even though I've deleted the base parts. That invisible line, the extension, is still there. But as soon as I leave this system, that's right, because I've portaled from the system. As soon as I leave this system, that line will disappear. I'd have to rebuild that again, which you'll see in a later stream, because I'm going to need to do make that a proper farm there, so I can just get some nanites and just have loads of refiners. Right, reach the sea. So here we go. I didn't die, I was murdered, yeah. I think, to be honest with you, that would have warranted a backup save being reloaded. Like, I think if you genuinely die in this, like through your own fault, like you know, like falling down a cave or just doing something stupid, I think that you deserve to die. Like, you've just got to get over it, deal with it. That was your fuck up. You've got to now just wear it. But if you glitch, like if you glitch through the floor, you glitch into a spaceship or something that is beyond your control, like someone shooting you in the Anomaly there, I think that warrants reloading your backup save and carrying on with the game. And if I had a backup, I would have done that. It's just a shame that I didn't have that all backed up. So you live and learn, and I'll be backing up this save once I've finished for sure. Yeah, the luck I had in that was fantastic as well. Right, so here is the freighter. This is what it's going to send me to, isn't it? So we'll grab this. Drive.
Protection falling.
So we can already get cracking on with that. Let's just quickly see what material is required to unlock these. 2, that's unusual.
Technology prepared. Radiation protection falling.
It's quite expensive that as well. Chromatic metal. Cheeky bastards.
Thermal protection falling. Technology prepared. Radiation protection falling.
Oh shit.
Radiation
once or twice, like really early on, like a few years ago, due to glitching in Permadeath. But that's the worst, because back then, I'll be honest, I didn't really know much about backing up saves and stuff either. And I definitely hadn't, the first time I died, backed up any saves. You kind of don't really expect something like that to happen, which is a little bit ignorant really, considering the issues the game's had, but even still. I'm just going to grab a couple of these as they're close by, because like I said, they're always worth grabbing. You're going to need over 100 of these to unlock all the base parts and stuff.
Protection falling. Units received.
What I'm doing as well is sometimes you get lucky and you can land quite near to a grave.
Protection
So
falling.
I'm just keeping an eye out for graves as well. For the glyphs.
Technology recharge.
Hyperdrive installed. Yep. Yeah, boy. Now I need to find antimatter. So where's this going to be? Find myself. Was checking these for the multi-tool. Crap. Just going to reload a save. Two crappy O1s. Then, like I said before, get the free nav data from here. Free nanites
Protection falling.
from here. Maybe a nav data in here. Get a word. And finally, the salvageable thing there. See if this has got any S-class modules. Yep.
Protection falling.
So we'll install this. Antimatter. Well, yeah. Oh, from orbit, okay. So this is going to take me to another different planet. Great. Right.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
Right, I've got no tritium. Just quickly do a bit of mining here.
No free slots in ship inventory. No free slots in ship inventory.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just a bit distracted there. I'm trying to talk to me in sign language. So now I'm on the stream. Right, so we've got 150 there. Get rid of that. We don't need silver. We don't need gold. But we do need tritium.
Technology recharge. Warning.
Yeah, I had the flamethrower. I had the flamethrower on a couple of tools. In actual fact, I found one myself. It was on a experimental tool, and I went and got one that I actually got one before I found one. But I got one. I can't remember which stream. I think it was a Jason Plays video from memory. That was an alien tool. That was the first one that I got. But I don't have any flamethrower on any tools now because I've either got better tools because I'm obviously all about the aesthetics, or those saves are long gone.
Toxic protection. Falling.
And to be honest with you, it was massively overrated anyway. Scatter Blaster, much better. It was weird as well because its ammunition was like just normal ammunition, as opposed to like needing that basil or whatever. But I mean, its damage was, I mean, it was no different to any other gun, to be honest. Massively overrated. Like, it was just a different animation, and that was about it, really. Just my view on that. Like, on Permadeath, you would have to be a madman right now to go at these.
Toxic protection.
You can build like a tunnel. So how I'm not going to get them. I'm not going to grab these because I just don't want to risk it because I haven't backed this save up. But how you would normally get this if you really wanted to is you would build a tunnel underneath them, not so that you touch water. So you would kind of restore this here, but you'd build a tunnel under them, and then essentially when these spawn they don't go underground. So what you'd do is you'd hit them and let them fall down and then collect them in this 360-degree tunnel that you'll build underneath and around this building. but for what these give in terms of nanites, just 50 nanites per egg, and like the couple of 100,000 each that they're worth, at the start of a permadeath stream, you'd be an absolute madman to risk all of that just for the sake of getting this shit. I leave that well alone. However, later in the game, when you've got shield modules and your character's OP, you can come down here and basically just stand here and take these and let anything come at you for fun, because you're so OP'd with decent guns at that point. Doesn't make any difference. But at this point in the game, when I've got no shield upgrades, this is literally suicide on permadeath. So if you're going to do a permadeath run, and on a normal run you're used to collecting these on normal, don't even think about it on permadeath, because you will die. One hit and your shield is gone with them on permadeath. That's all it takes.
Toxic protection falling. Technology recharge.
Yeah, and what I've noticed as well is not only are they a little bit more aggressive, like the things on the derelict freighters are as well, and a few of the predators, sometimes they can actually get down in these tunnels. So like I said, you haven't even got to worry about these tunnels on normal, even really at the start of the game, and you haven't got to worry about these tunnels on permadeath once you're late in game. But even early in this game, if you build these tunnels, I'm telling you now, you're not guaranteed to be safe. So don't bother. And like I said, if they were giving like kind of, 500 nanites per egg, and like 1 million units per egg, if you wanted to sell for units, I would say it's worth the risk. Like definitely worth the risk. But for 50 nanites an egg, and like whatever it is, like 100,000 or whatever it is per egg, no. Don't even waste your time.
Product constructed.
It's going to be about that time. We've got to get IRL stuff. Thanks for the stream. It's been no problem, Daryl. Pleasure to have you in as well. Always a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hope everybody has a decent start tomorrow. And take care.
Warning. Threat detected. Hostile ships approaching.
those aliens, I'll fight a walker any day. Yeah, proper aggressive now. Cheers, Daryl. Looking forward to the next vid. Much appreciated. Yeah, once I am able to call in the anomaly, I'm going to call it a day on the stream at that point. It should be soon. See if there's a traveller on this station, and I'm also going to get an exosuit upgrade. See, that's jumped from 5,000 to 500,000 now. So until I start building up some units, I won't bother with that. I'm going to focus on technology now, because then I can start shoving everything in tech, and start buying some tech as well, because that helps on perma. This is also going to be a system I do a multi-tool search for as well. Because that's an A-class captain. So the first sort of 3 or 4 streams, just as I'm building up my character and stuff, is going to be some interesting bits, some very repetitive, boring bits, but anything and everything that I do in these streams there's a reason for it. No traveller there. Let's see what we've got this side. Can we start any missions?
received. Product received. Product constructed. Product received. Product constructed. Product constructed. Units received. Units received.
I'm just trying to find some chromatic metal. If you're wondering what I'm doing, and I'm looking for some tritium as well. There's my tritium. So cheap, like this. You can farm this in space. But I mean, I'm just conscious of space here more than how much it costs. So I'll just get 500 for the minute. But look, 500 is 3,000. Absolutely nothing, is it? So you're much better off buying that. So, okay, so while I'm here, I'll just quickly show you these glitch items. So any planet, basically, there's 11 different glitch items that you can collect in this game, and they're found on 11 different special planets. Now, special planets are planets that generally have, see those resources on the right, copper, gold, sodium. They generally won't list any plants, so no flora. It will just be minerals. Now, this particular planet here is a planet of light. Sometimes they're called different names, but roughly all relate to light for this particular glitch item. And this glitch item on this planet is what you can see here. They're called light fissures. Now, these are only used for aesthetics on base building and for actually use in building base parts as well. You can't really do anything with these but use them with bases. You can place them using a glitch method. You can place these vertically, horizontally, downwards, however you want. Now, they're best viewed at night time. If I put this down here so it's night, the standard ones that you can't collect are green. Yeah, so see how they're all green. But the ones that you can collect are yellow, or a yellowy green. So this one here you can collect, and you can see the difference between the colour in that and them. That and them. So if you went up and just had a look around, there's one in the distance there. You can see them quite well from quite a way away, and there's one right in the distance at the back there. There's two here because you can see that they can give a slightly different glow to this one. This is a normal one, but those two there are collectible, as is that one right in the distance there in the middle of the screen. Yeah, so these are all non-collectible because they're all green, but there's one there in the middle of the screen now, in between here, in between there, right in the middle there, there's another one. And that's the same for all the glitch items in the game. They all give off a very slight different glow in terms of colour. Now when you get close to them, they appear on your HUD. If you look at the top of my screen now, there's a yellow question mark. Yeah? So as you it disappears as you get close to it. It will show as a question mark. On your analysis visor, it will show as a question mark in the middle of the light as well. Now as you get up close to it, you've got an option now to pick it up. So if you right click on the RS button, I'm using an Xbox controller, if you right click it, I'll now pick that up. So now it's in my inventory, and you basically collect these, as many as you like, and then what you can do is you can place them and you can form a base part. You don't even need to have a base computer. You can place these anywhere, and you can also change the colour. See the cut. If I get up to this black bit, see how I'm changing the colour? Red, purple, blue, green, yellow. So you can change the colour of these as you can exactly the same way with all other base parts, and it just changes the colour of the light that it gives off. So that's going to give off now a purple colour. Yeah? Now I will be collecting a lot of these because I use a lot of these in my base builds. but I'm not going to bother on this planet because I haven't got enough space in my inventory to worry about all that crap yet. At the moment I'm just trying to look for essential stuff. But that is one of 11 different glitch items that you can find in any system. There will generally be one glitch item planet in pretty much most systems that you go to that has 6 planets. But these are quite cool. These I use these a lot on my builds.
Life support power low.
And another tip is with these particular special planets that have the glitch items, they only have one type of fauna. So this is their fauna, this light thing. So if you scan that, it's worth finding these planets because what it does is if you're looking to basically so in your milestones tab you've got the planetary zoology here, which is discover all species on however many planets. Now you've got to get 10 of these to get this to 10. So the easiest way to do that is to find these glitch item planets that have just one type of fauna. Every one of the 11 different planets only have one fauna. So you scan that, go to your discoveries tab, click on the fauna and then upload it. And lo and behold, wait for it. There we go. Naturalists discovered all species on one planet. So this is the easiest way to get that achievement, because there is an achievement related to that as well. Is just come to these planets, scan that one fauna, go to your discoveries tab and just upload it. Then you've got the whole lot. Yeah? Nice and easy. going to be an archive building, isn't it? Does seem a bit far away though, that. So much so. There it is. Yeah, it's not here. need to worry about this for the moment.
Product constructed. Technology recharge. received. No free slots in suit inventory. Collectible received. Collectible received. Collectible received. Collectible received. Collectible received. Collectible received.
I'm not going to collect any of this stuff. Yeah, I just feel like cheating.
Collectible received. 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 Collectible received.
No idea yet. On the community rewards or expeditions, absolutely no idea. I think myself and quite a few other people were expecting it several weeks ago, then kind of everything pointed towards this week just gone. So honestly, I've got no idea. I would assume next week, but then we'll get to Thursday of next week and there'll be nothing again. So, for those that don't know, this is where you get your Anomaly exosuit upgrade from. Just to the right of the exosuit research guide. Sometimes this doesn't always show, like the backpack hologram, but there'll still be one there to grab. And then just grab it. Right, so the most important thing, once you first get to the Anomaly, I appreciate everyone plays the game differently, that you've all got your own way of playing it, but the way I play it, the most important thing I think that everyone needs and should get before they can get anything else with nanites is the personal refinement, which is on the left hand side here. You need to unlock this So the multi-tool vendor. Get this waveform recycler, but purely because you need to get this the survey device. The most important multi-tool upgrade if you're looking to build a mine or a stasis device farm. You need this. And if you've still got nanites left over, then I would go for Scattermaster, Shell Greaser, and get these two installed. Then normally I would go for upgrades on the ship. But what I'm going to do is unlock much more efficient than building a load of these until I can upgrade my ship inventory and stuff. This is purely for space management at the moment. So I'm going to go to the first thing I'm going to unlock is electromagnetic generator, followed by and these two will be next. Gas and supply depot. So in that case, I'm going to need to progress a bit further in the story in order to unlock this, which I'm not going to do this evening because it's already gone midnight UK time now. I've been streaming for quite a while. So I'm going to, as the title says, start to Anomaly. I'm at the Anomaly now, and I think I'm going to end the stream here. Got kind of all the basic stuff covered, shown and done in this stream, and I think that we're going to progress with the story and some other things like upgrading the multi-tool, the starship and so on in the next couple of streams. So yeah, many thanks everybody for joining and staying patient again with this newer Permadeath run. Thanks to True Wits, thanks to Matilde, Joe Schmo, Daryl, anyone that was lurking, and anyone that I have missed. I don't think I've missed anyone. Manic Miners as well. But yeah, much appreciated. I've got several likes on the video, which is always good. All the support there helps. True Wit says, great stream mate, really enjoyed it, look forward to next one. Good night, take care. Yeah, you too mate, glad you enjoyed it. The next one will be at some stage next week. I've got quite a bit stuff. So I'm not sure what day it's going to be yet. Possibly Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'm not sure yet. But I'll keep you posted. But enjoy your new week ahead, and I'll see you all in the next stream.